Hi, I'm Dr. Amy Eskinoz, Dean of Admission at Hebrew Academy. Welcome to high school. High school at Hebrew Academy serves students in grades 9 through 12. They are co-ed for all general studies subjects, but gender separated for all Judaic and Ivrit, so it's observant, but in the real world. School hours are Monday through Thursday, 7:50 in the morning until 4:15 in the afternoon, and 7:50 on Friday we start with a 2:30 dismissal, except for daylight savings time in the winter we dismiss at 1:30. Now, what if you have children who are not in high school and they dismiss at 3:50, like a middle schooler or an elementary school student? Not to worry. Those students will be in the care of their teachers until your high school student dismisses, and then they can all dismiss and go home together at 4:15 when high school dismisses. Davening is a great time of day, and it's probably the most important way to begin your day. Davening at Hebrew Academy does take place during second period. First period is a core general studies course like math or science that is designed intentionally so that children will show up to school on time, and likewise they will show up to davening on time as well. And that makes the experience much more meaningful than having students arriving very late to school and therefore very late to davening and not having that important opportunity to begin their day on the right foot. Davening in Hebrew Academy, you have different options of minyanim. Boys and girls daven together with a mochitza. You have an option of a Sephardi minyan, an Ashkenaz minyan, or a Chabad minyan. So there's really something for everybody in the high school for tefillah. Now, after tefillah, it isn't all general studies and then all Judaic and Ivrit. We don't run it in blocks, so it's every 45 minutes the bell rings and the students are going to their next class. For the sake of clarity, we will discuss the general studies options first and then the Judaic, Ivrit, and elective thereafter. For the general studies, students will take 4 years of English, math, social studies, and science. Within those 4 core subject areas, there are 2 to 3 ability levels. You have the college preparatory level, which is the lowest core level course that we offer, which is college prep. And then you have an honors level. And then for many courses, we offer advanced placement as well. For English in 9th grade, they are reading novels. They're working on the writing process. We want to make sure that they have a really strong foundation because there is a lot of writing across the curriculum. How they do in 9th grade will determine where they go in 10th grade as far as a regular or an honors level class. 10th grade, they take contemporary English, and then 11th and 12th grade, they can take their regular lit classes, or they can opt into AP language or AP literature, if that's what they prefer. Mathematics, it really depends on where a child completed 8th grade with their level, how they will land for 9th grade placement. Most typical learners will go into Algebra 1 as a 9th grader. That is your college preparatory typical learner core class. Some students have already completed Algebra 1 in the 8th grade, and if they have, they must have received a B+ or better in order to maintain that on their transcript. So then they would begin with geometry. Some students have had both Algebra 1 and geometry in 7th and 8th grade, so they would begin with Algebra 2 in 9th grade. It really just depends on the learner. As they matriculate through, if they take Algebra 1 as a 9th grader, they would take geometry in 10th, they would take Algebra 2 in 11th, and then they could take pre-calc in their senior year. There's also a business math option for students that might prefer to go that way. Other students might end up taking calc and trig. It just depends on where their trajectory is. But regardless, all students, according to their math ability levels, will have their needs met. Social studies in 9th grade, you have a regular college prep level, and then you have an honors level. Social studies topic in grade 9 is world history. In grade 10, they take contemporary history. In 11th grade, they take American history. And then their senior year, they take a semester of economics and a semester of government. Science in 9th grade, you take biology, either the core college prep level or an honors level. In 10th grade, they take chemistry, either core or honors. And then in 11th and 12th grades, there are many options, and it really depends on the learner and what they prefer to take and also how well they did. They have courses that they can take: environmental science, physics, engineering, AP biology, AP chemistry, marine biology, nutrition, anatomy and physiology, physics. It really just depends on the learner and their personal interests. I had mentioned that we do offer advanced placement courses. Those are offered on a cycle. Typically, students begin taking advanced placement in 11th and 12th grades. There are some opportunities in 9th and 10th. As far as world history and contemporary history, those are courses that as 9th and 10th graders, they can be prepping and take the AP exam at the end of 10th grade. We are very judicious with advanced placement. We don't like to overload our students. As much as universities like to see those courses, they are taxing on the students, and we like to make sure that our students can manage the course load. Because of our split curriculum, they're not just taking 4 general studies courses a day, they're also taking an additional 4 Judaic studies courses a day plus an elective. So we want to make sure that our students are not overburdened with too many AP courses at once. We do offer something very unique, and that is called dual enrollment. That's an opportunity for our students to be enrolled at Hebrew Academy, but also to take college level courses with Florida International University at the same time. This year, we offered a criminal justice class on our own campus that students could opt into, and they received college credit for taking that course. It did not cost them a penny more than their regular tuition, and it was a great opportunity for students that qualified for that class. We are excited to also offer some pre-majors. If a 9th grader comes in and has an idea that they'd like to go to law school, for example, we would put them on a pre-law track. That would mean that those students would be placed in the more advanced Talmud classes. They would be asked to take debate and psychology. We would want them to take that dual enrollment class with FIU for criminal justice. We would encourage them to join APAC and other particular clubs, and we would set them up with the 4-year plan to make sure that they're ready for that law school opportunity post-high school. Other pre-majors coming down the track might also include pre-med and some other arts-related subjects down the line. Judaic and Ivrit. Just like with the general studies, where you have 4 core classes that you take for all 4 years of high school, the same goes for Judaic and Ivrit. For all 4 years of high school, students will take Chumash, Talmud, Halacha, and Ivrit. Chumash, typically you have 2 ability level courses, the core level college prep class, along with the honors opportunity for kids that are more accelerated. Talmud, the same. You have a regular level and an accelerated level. Same goes for Halacha. Ivrit, a little different. Ivrit, you may often have 4, 5, or 6 ability levels. It just depends, number one, on the availability of personnel, but also on the ability level needs of our students. Students take their Judaic and Ivrit classes in combined grade levels, meaning that 9th and 10th graders take their Judaic and Ivrit together, and 11th and 12th graders take Judaic and Ivrit together. So we want to make sure that all the ability levels for all those grade levels make sense and are available for our students. But we do want to make sure with Ivrit in particular, if we have students coming out of public school that have no Ivrit skills, they're going to require a very basic course, whereas a child who has an Israeli family or has lived in Israel and is fluent in Hebrew already is going to need a much more accelerated opportunity than a beginning student. So therefore, all the ability levels offer that and solve that problem for them. Electives. These are fun courses that students can opt into. Now, something to keep in mind, electives, the state of Florida actually requires students to take certain electives in order to graduate from a Florida high school. Those courses are art, computer science, health, and a foreign language. So students are required to take a semester of all of those courses. Happens that they're pretty fun as well, so it's not too bad. But other courses that they can opt into, they can take some AP courses. For example, they can take AP Art History, they can take psychology, they can take debate. We have a thespian society that has a drama class during that time, yearbook, newspaper, there's all kinds of options. We want the kids to sort of find their passion and see what's interesting and fun to them. Some kids might opt into more PE if they've already satisfied all the state requirements, and that's fine, but we do like to encourage the kids to explore other options and opportunities for learning. Special events and trips. School wouldn't be school without field trips, and everybody knows that that's something really fun to look forward to. The beginning of the year begins with the back to school bash, where all the students in grades 9 through 12 go together on a special outing, be it something to Orlando or a ropes course more local or canoeing at Alita Park. It's just a great way to break the ice, for new students to feel like they fit in right away, and for all the students to get to know their teachers outside of the regular classroom setting. We always have Color War every year. It's a surprise. Nobody really knows when Color War might happen, but it is something the students definitely look forward to. We do have some innovative exhibit nights. One is the multicultural night, where students in their junior year present information about their family heritage and students and parents are invited in to hear all about their family tree research. We also have an innovations convention where the students innovate and solve problems, and then build them and put them on display for families to come and see. And then we have our pinnacle trips. 10th graders go to Israel for 2 weeks after Passover, and they're there for Yom HaZikaron, Yom HaTzmaut. It's a magical time for the students. It's very bonding for 10th grade. 10th graders prepare all school year to take this particular trip. They take an elective that focuses on Israeli history and culture. They learn about all the locations that they're going to visit. So when they ultimately arrive to Israel, they have background knowledge and can truly enjoy the time. Seniors have another very special trip. It's the Senior Heritage Trip. And this is a trip similar to March of the Living, only a little more kosher. But they go to Czechoslovakia, Germany, Prague, and then to Israel. Again, very bonding. Seniors go for 2 weeks after Passover, and when they return, they graduate. So it really is their chance to unify before they ultimately say goodbye to their friends and their school. Clubs and sports. I think every high school in the United States can boast that they have clubs and sports, and we are really no different. Our school, beginning in 4th grade, actually offers 27 competitive athletic teams. We have for high school, JV and varsity, cross-country running, soccer, volleyball, basketball, flag football, and tennis as competitive sports opportunities. For clubs, there's a vast array of clubs. I mentioned before, we have a thespian society, we have an APAC group, we have a debate team, there's a short film club, a Hesed club, there's a Hesed fair every year where the kids can sign up for community service opportunities and bring those community service organizations onto campus as potential clubs as well. If we do not offer a club that a student is interested in, students are encouraged to seek out a faculty member to become a club advisor and create that club themselves. And that's something that when students are applying for college, they can boast and say, hey, I started the anime club, or I started the graphic novel club, whatever it may be. And it's great for them on their college application to be able to say they started it. And it speaks volumes about our personnel that they are willing to help students create things that are interesting for them to share with their classmates. Post-high school. We can't talk about high school without talking about the end game. And the end game for us is that all the students are admitted to a wonderful university, and they're highly encouraged before attending that university to attend a gap year in Israel. We have a very wonderful college guidance department that has a great success rate for all the students who want early decision to get into their first choice college, and for everybody, even those who don't do early decision, to really get into that first choice college at their proper tier. That said, the goal is that these children are Zionists. They want to go to Israel. They know the language, and we want them to go and have that gap year or more abroad. So we also have an Israel placement program as well. All the yeshivot and seminaries, many of the colleges come right to our school to inform the students, to interview them about their programs. We encourage the kids to do summers in the different university and Israel programs as well. It's an all-encompassing program. The outcome every year is fabulous. And it really cannot say enough about our college and Israel placement departments. They do a fabulous job. All right. I've spoken just this much about high school, and there's a lot more to learn. You can dig in at our website at HebrewAcademyMiami.org, just above there, and click on the academics tab, and then click on the high school tab so that you can dig into every single subject that we offer in the high school, see the syllabi, see the text that we use, see the scope and sequence, and really learn more about our program through the academic program tab on our website. If you're looking at high school, a lot of the chapters that we offer would not apply to unless you have younger children, but I do encourage you to check them all out. Begin with chapter 1 if you haven't done so already, and look at the history, philosophy, and demographics. It'll tell you a lot about our families and how you feel you might fit in with them. And if you have younger children, of course, check out the elementary, early childhood, and middle school departments as well. If your child has some unique learning needs, you should definitely look at the resource chapter. I go into more detail about extracurricular activities there as well. And of course, we discuss the application for admission process, tuition fees and the financial aid process. And there's some fun tours and things that you can look at. So I really encourage you to dig in and look at everything that's available to you. If you have questions or if you'd like to make an appointment, by all means, send me an email or give me a ring. If you can't come in for a meeting, I'm very happy to schedule an appointment via Zoom for you, or you can call the number that's listed here. It does forward to my phone if I'm not on campus, so I can speak to you that way as well. I hope to hear from you very soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.